Today, we're going to learn about the difference between the past simple and the past continuous, past progressive. Both tenses are used to talk about the past, but they describe actions in different ways. The past simple usually focuses on completed actions, while the past continuous focuses on actions that were in progress at a specific moment in the past. First, let's review how we form these tenses. The past simple uses the past form of the verb. For example, I played basketball. She watched a film. They acted in a TV series. In negative sentences, we use did not, didn't, plus base verb, such as, I didn't watch the horror film. They didn't enjoy the comedy. She didn't act in that drama. For questions, we use did plus subject plus base verb. For example, did you watch the TV series? Did he act in the film? Did they enjoy the cartoon? The past continuous is formed with slash or plus verb ing. For example, I was watching a thriller. He was acting in a TV series. They were filming a scene. Negative sentences use wasn't slash weren't, such as, I wasn't watching television. They weren't filming the scene. She wasn't acting in that drama. Questions are formed by inverting the subject and the verb to be. Was he acting in the film? Were they watching the series? Were you enjoying the show? Now let's talk about when we use each tense. The past simple is used for actions that started and finished in the past. These actions can be single or repeated. For example, I watched a comedy yesterday. We saw a science fiction film last night. She acted in a famous TV series last year. We often use time expressions such as yesterday, last night, last week, or last year with the past simple. The past continuous, on the other hand, describes actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. For example, yesterday at 9 p.m., I was watching a thriller. The actors were filming a scene in the studio. The audience was enjoying the entertainment. The focus here is on the action in progress, not just the fact that it happened. Another important difference is how we describe two actions happening at the same time. In these cases, we often use the word while with the past continuous. For example, I was watching a TV series while my brother was playing video games. The director was explaining the scene while the actors were preparing on the set. Both actions were happening at the same moment. However, when we describe a series of actions that happen one after another, we normally use the past simple. For example, she came home, turned on the television, and watched a comedy. The director arrived, prepared the actors, and started filming the scene. These actions happen in sequence, one after another. Very often we combine both tenses when one action interrupts another. In this case, the past continuous describes the action in progress, and the past simple describes the new action that happens suddenly. We usually use the word when before the past simple. For example, I was watching a horror film when the phone rang. We were watching a romantic movie when the electricity went out. The actors were filming a scene when the director stopped the recording. Sometimes the difference between the two tenses is about emphasis. If we simply want to say that something happened in the past, we use the past simple. For example, Colin watched a film yesterday. But if we want to emphasize that the action was in progress at a specific time, we use the past continuous. For example, yesterday at 6 o'clock, Colin was watching a film. It is also useful to remember some spelling rules. In the past simple, regular verbs usually end in ed. For example, act, acted, entertain, entertained. Sometimes we double the consonant, such as stop, stopped. If the verb ends in e, we add d, like love, loved. If the verb ends in y, we change y to I. For example, worry, worried. For ing forms in the past continuous, we sometimes double the consonant, sit, sitting, drop the e, write, writing, or change a to y, lie, lying. To summarize, the past simple describes finished actions and sequences of events in the past, while the past continuous describes actions that were happening at a specific moment or background actions in the past. We often use them together to explain what was happening when another action occurred, especially when telling stories about events, films, or personal experiences.